Okay, welcome to my kitchen. It's the best place that I can teach you a yoga class from which to teach you a yoga class. I am post-activity, so I am going to not spend as much time on a warm-up. You're welcome to join in at any part of your day or evening that you want yoga. You may see a couple cats coming through, don't mind them. Or stop and take time to admire them, whatever you like. There's one, Marzi is his name. Come start at the back of your mat, feet hip-width apart. And I like to remind people, my regulars kind of know that hip width, especially for women, we think it's the outer fleshy parts of the hips. And for men too. But I like to remind us that hip width apart is right around where those hip points are, the points of your pelvis. And so oftentimes hip width apart is really generally about the same for everyone. So think about hip width that way. Sometimes I put my fists together and then in between the arches of my foot, kind of hug the arches in toward the outer side of the fists. And that's about your hip width. So hip width apart, I'm going to start at the back of my mat. And we're just going to start right away. Sorry, I didn't get my tucked in shirt ready. We're going to start right away in forward fold. So any forward fold that for you is comfortable regarding knees bent or straight, whatever you like. I like mine bent. Shifting most of the weight forward on the forefoot, toward the forefoot of each foot. Let the neck fully relax. That helps bring traction to the cervical spine if we let the head just, let gravity kind of pull the head down toward your mat. Arms wherever they're comfortable. And then I'm just going to start by tuning into the breath, taking a few deep breaths, letting out those exhales however you like. I like to sigh a lot. Maybe thinking about, with your inhales, taking a deep inhale as you expand the back of your lungs, as we're flexing the spine. That could also bring traction to the thoracic spine. Deep inhales. Back ribs expand along with the backs of the lungs. As you fill them up with the inhale, and then let out the exhale. Continue breathing here, adding any movement if you'd like to. I like to kind of bend knees and extend legs a little bit back and forth. Maybe shaking out the head, yes and no, several times if that feels good for the neck. And then I'm going to rock forward and back a little bit, lifting the toes, lifting the heels. Nothing major, just gentle, simple movement that way. Well, simple for some, maybe not for you today, and that's okay. Do what feels good for you. If you just want to sit and listen to my voice, that's always an option too. I give that option in my classes, my live classes as well. And then once you've moved around a bit, come back to your stillness if you were there to begin with. Or start with a still forward fold. I am experiencing some nice burning on the backs of my legs. You may too. If not, nothing's wrong. I've just been on my feet all day today, so I'm feeling it. Alrighty, from here, next inhale, halfway lift. You can either bring palms to lightly rest on the shins, or sometimes I have my fingertips right below the shoulders. Long spine, so crown of the head reaches forward. Shoulder blades actively reach back toward the hips, grounded through the foot, each foot. And I'm also shifting a little bit more forward toward the forefoot of each foot. Breathing here. One more inhale. And exhale, forward fold. And then again, I'm going to start bending my knees, and then extending the legs back and forth. All right, keep the feet grounded, and the next time the knees are bent, go ahead and keep them bent, and then we're just going to shimmy the spine right up to our chair pose. So knees are still bent deeply. You can bring hands into heart center, hands on hips, whatever you'd like. Relax the shoulders. Stay long through the spine. So the natural curve is still there. And then our knees are going to track with the toes because our feet are hip width apart. Jaw relaxed. Breathing here. And then on your next inhale, extend everything upward. Exhale, forward fold, long spine. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, long spine. Exhale, forward fold, right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, come all the way up, long spine. And then exhale, right back down, forward fold. Go at your own pace. We'll continue here for a little bit. I'll keep talking, but you just go your own pace. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Come all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, long spine, reaching up and out of the hips, up through the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold, right back down. Inhaling, halfway lift, right into a cat. Exhale, forward fold. This time I'm going to add a back bend, just a little one. Inhaling, come all the way up. Reach back maybe just a little bit, doesn't have to be much. However, it much feels good. Exhale, forward fold, right back down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Long spine, maybe reach back a little bit. And then from here, exhale, arms out and down. And go ahead and roll the shoulders. Reverse the direction of your circles. And good. Inhale, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, shake the arms and hands as you come down. Inhale, arms come up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, shake them, wobble them on down. One more time, just like that. Inhaling, arms come up and overhead. And exhale, shake, wiggle, wobble. Whatever feels good there. I'm going to bend back and forth into the knees. Little dynamic stretching for the Achilles back there for me. That feels good. Okay, come to standing. Palms face forward, just energetically speaking, don't force anything. And soften the knees here. Relax shoulders. Take a breath. When you're ready, inhale, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold, long spine. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Palms together if our shoulders are okay with that. Exhale, side bend to the right, just a little bit. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist open to the right. Inhaling, back to center. Exhale, twist open to your left. Inhaling, back to center. And exhaling, arms out and down. Shimmy shoulders anytime you need to or want to. And then go ahead and step the feet a little wider now than hip width apart. When you're ready, inhaling, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Maybe palms together. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist open to your right. Inhaling, back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Maybe add a little bit of a back bend as you reach back. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Heel toe those feet back to hip width apart. When you're ready, inhale, arms come up and overhead, and then we're going to exhale to our chair pose. I'm going to shift. I like to shift most of my weight to the forefoot of each foot. Some teachers like to have you shift most of the weight back. And some just tell you to even it out. Distribute evenly throughout each foot. Arms can stay right up here alongside your ears, or arms parallel to the floor if that's a little better for the shoulders. Palms up or down, you choose. Hands and heart center is an option. Hands on hips is an option. You can even just let the arms hang here if you don't want to have anything to do with what your arms are doing. Up to you and your body, how you feel right now. Keep breathing. Jaw relaxed. Just a reminder, jaw relaxed to me just means not clenching the teeth too tightly. Good. When your next inhale comes around, inhale, extend everything upward. Feel free to add a back bend to that rising up, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Come up on the toes. If you want a little bit of a balance challenge, don't look down at your feet when we do this next thing. If you don't care about the balance, look down at your feet. Take baby steps on your toes, all the way up to the front of your mat. Take your time getting there. And then once you do get there, plant the feet, hip width apart. When you're ready, inhale, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold, long spine. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, start to fold, plant the hands and step that left foot all the way back, coming into a lunge here. So I just realized I forgot my blocks. If you like to have blocks under the hands, that's always an option. Main reason I like to use blocks, it helps me to lengthen through my spine so that I'm a little bit less tempted to kind of sink down and hang out on that front leg. But lift and lengthen toward the front of the mat. If you'd like to activate this lunge, think about pressing straight down into the front foot, which for me is the right foot right now. Think about the inner legs reaching toward each other, toward the midline of the body. The back heel hovers above the back toes, and the skin of the back leg sort of reaches up toward the sky. Breathing here. One more inhale. On your exhale, lower the back knee down. Feel free to release the top of the back foot. And then inhale, lift the arms up and overhead, maybe back a little bit, and then sink those hips a bit down and forward, or let them relax down and forward toward the front of your mat. One of my favorite, the psoas stretch. Good, one more inhale here. On your exhale, swing the arms down and back as you sort of start to straighten up that front leg, flexing the right foot. Coming in to stretch the hamstring a bit. Here too, you can use blocks under the hands. A couple more breaths here, and then we're going to flow through those two stretches. If you want a little bit more movement between these two, and if you'd rather just stay in stillness, get to one, stay there for a couple breaths, move to the other one. Or stay in your favorite. So to flow, we're going to inhale, step back forward. Really, it's just putting your foot back down. You don't have to take an actual step. Inhaling, lift the arms up. Exhale, swing the arms back and sort of straighten up that front leg. Inhale, swing on forward. Exhale, swing the arms back. Inhale one more time up. Exhale as you swing the arms back. And then inhale right back into that front foot. We're going to plant the hands inside the right foot. So you might need to walk that right foot over toward the right edge of your mat just a little bit. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back leg. In one version of lizard lunge here. Breathing here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to shoot that right leg back, coming into your plank. So spread wide those fingers, externally rotate the arms. Long through the spine, natural curve is still there. Jaw relaxed. One more inhale. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Pressing down and forward into the palms. Feel free to add any movement if you'd like to paddle out the heels back and forth. Maybe spending some time stretching out the calf muscle, the lower leg muscle. Feel free to shake the head out yes and no several times if that feels good. We're going to spend a few more breaths here in downward facing dog, whether or not you are in stillness. Now if you're moving, come to stillness. And then bend the knees and start to walk the hands back toward the feet. Take your time. Clearing cat hair as you go. Okay, once you're in your forward fold, take another breath or two there. And then when your next inhale comes around, inhale halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, long spine. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist open to the right, and then inhale, back to center. Exhaling, twist to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, long spine, grounding through the feet, maybe at a back bend, and then exhale, heart center. Good. I'm going to press into the palms, a little extra here, so the elbows may lift kind of on their own, depending on how much you're pressing into the palms. And then I'm going to lift the heels of the hands away and kind of roll the fingers back and forth. I do this in one of my hand videos. Roll toward the pinky, opening the palm, and then roll toward the index finger. Okay? Good. Wiggle out the fingers. Maybe roll the wrists. Good. Shake out the arms. Come up onto the toes. And start to baby step your way on your toes to the front edge of your mat. Once you get to the front, plant those feet at hip width apart. And then on your next inhale, inhaling, arms come up and overhead. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, start to fold, plant the hands and step that right foot all the way back. All the way meaning whatever all the way means for you. However it feels for the hips, the spine, for your body. Okay, let's set up here in our lunge. Again, if you want to activate, think about pressing straight down and actively into that front foot. Inner legs reach toward each other, toward the midline of the body. Back heel hovers above the back toes, and skin of the back leg sort of reaches toward the ceiling. Long through the spine, all the way up through the cervical spine. So the head doesn't hang here in the lunge, but it's in line with the rest of the spine. Just a couple more breaths here. One more inhale, and then on your exhale, we'll lower that right leg or back leg all the way down. Feel free to release the top of the back foot. Next inhale, arms come up, overhead. Relax the shoulders a bit, even though arms are lifted, and sort of sink those hips down and forward toward the front of the mat. You can always pad the knee. I didn't say that on the last time, but you can fold the side or the edge of the side where the knee is down. So in this case, you'd fold that right edge of your mat over if that adds a little extra cushion for you. Or just slide a blanket or a towel, fold a towel up under the knee at any given time when we're on our knees. Good, one more inhale here, and then on your exhale, start to swing the arms back. You can plant the hands, sort of straighten up that left leg, flex the left foot. So draw those left toes back toward the left hip. And we'll spend a few breaths here to stretch out the hammy. And this may look different for you. You may actually sit down more toward that back heel. Not me. Do what feels good. Whatever position you can get into, a kind of around this shape, is going to be up to your own body. Not necessarily what you see me doing here. Okay, if you want to join the flow between those last two stretches, this one included, then on your next inhale, we're going to inhale, arms forward as you plant that left foot and up. Exhale, swing the arms back, straighten up the front leg. Inhale, swing the arms up. Exhale, swing those arms back. Takes a lot of control. That's okay. Take your time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Last time, we're just going to inhale up there. And then exhale, come on down, plant the hands inside the left foot. So if you want to kind of shimmy or walk that left foot over to the left, maybe another inch or two, feel free, so that those wrists are nearly underneath the shoulders. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lift the back leg. So in a variation of lizard, just take a couple more breaths here. Hands planted strongly. Next inhale, shoot or slide that left leg back, coming into your plank pose. Always feel free to lower the knees, keep that upper body strong, spine long. We'll take one more inhale here. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Good, breathe here. Move if you'd like to, and not if you don't want to. Couple more breaths here in our downward facing dog. Next inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, lower all the way to the mat. And coming into our tabletop. So still, those fingers are spread wide. Externally rotate the arms. Press into the palms. When you're ready, inhaling to cow. Exhaling as you round the spine to cat. Now you continue just like that, inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat. If you'd like to add tucking of toes with cat, that's an option. And any other movement really, within your cats and or your cows. I like to sit back a little bit toward the heels in my cat sometimes. Good, and then when you're ready, coming back to that neutral tabletop, no rush to get there. I'm going to step my knees back just a little bit. Externally rotate the arms. Slowly bend the elbows and come all the way down to the mat. I think you can still see me, yes. Hug those elbows in toward the midline of the body. Tops of the feet actively pressing down into the mat. And when you're ready, inhale to cobra, lifting up through the sternum, and then exhale, lower down. We'll do that 2 more times, however far up you want to go. Inhale, cobra, lift through the upper body, and then exhale, lower down. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, lower down. Good, tuck the toes. Inhale as you press up to the knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, lower down to the mat. Bring the legs together, releasing the tops of the feet. We're going to sit back into child's pose. Starting with a bit of an active child's pose, so I'm going to walk my fingertips as far forward as feels okay for my shoulders, my armpit area. And then let the chest really sink down toward the mat, resting there, or resting toward the mat. Forehead resting in the mat or block or blanket. Feel maybe a stretch there, right down the center of the armpit. Then slowly begin to lift the hips. Coming up onto the palms for a minute here. We're gonna, just a second really, knees hip width apart. Go ahead and tuck the toes if that's okay with the toes, the forefoot, the ankle. And then come down to the forearms. Palms together. And then lower the head down to the mat or toward the mat. Bring the palms behind the head. And then maybe walk the elbows forward a little bit, and then sink the chest down toward the mat, kind of dragging those upper arms or those elbows back a little bit as you stretch again, somewhat through the armpits, the latissimus dorsi right behind by the shoulder blades, and then maybe even feeling a stretch down the triceps or the backs of the upper arms. Just a couple more breaths here. And then releasing the arms, coming up slowly, one at a time up onto the forearms. And then up onto the hands. Keeping our toes curled and hips lifted. Step the hands out, quite a bit ahead of your shoulders. Come up onto the fingertips. And then if there's not a cat there, go ahead and lower the chest, so coming into extended puppy pose. And then this time you may bring chin, nose, or forehead to the mat, maybe even the chest, and just a couple more breaths here. Good, slowly lifting through the upper body, dragging the hands back, coming on to all fours or that tabletop position. I'm going to release the tops of my feet. I'm going to thread the needle here. And actually, we're not going to go all the way down yet. I'm going to do a little bit of flow here. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, right arm up and over to the side. As you exhale, start to curve under, but we're not going to come all the way down to the mat. So I'm curving under with the right hand. Next, inhale, open up, maybe twist so that right hand reaches up toward the sky, and then exhale, curve down and forward under the left arm. Inhale, open up, little twist for the thoracic spine. Exhale, start to thread the needle. One more time up, inhaling up and open, twist to the side. This time we'll come down, so exhale, thread the needle, right shoulder comes all the way down to the mat, right side of the face. And then extend that left arm as far forward as feels okay. Allow the chest to just kind of sink toward the mat and relax here. Same with the jaw. And take a couple more breaths. Inhale as you slide the left palm back, as you plant it right in front of your face. Use your exhale to gently press yourself back up to all fours. When you're ready, inhale, left arm up and over to the side to start. Exhale, go under that right arm, curving under, twisting the spine. Inhale, reach the left arm up as high as feels good. Exhale, curve under the right arm. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curve under. Last time, inhaling, reach up and back. And exhale, this time, thread the needle. Left shoulder comes all the way down. Left side of the face. Extend that right arm as far forward as feels good for you. And relax the chest, the upper body. Breathe here. Jaw relaxed. On your next inhale, slide the right palm back. Exhale as you gently press yourself up. Come back to all fours. And then feel free to exercise a couple more cats and cows if you'd like. Maybe stay in a still tabletop. Lengthening out the spine. Maybe come into child's pose. Good. And then when you're ready, swing those ankles around and we're going to come to seated position here. You can face any direction on your mat if you'd like to. We're just going to open the legs to a V. Flex the feet. Think about externally rotating the legs. So it's like you're trying to open up the feet and then glue the backs of those legs down into the floor, down into the mat. If it helps to help lift through the spine by pressing back, I'm kind of not sitting back on my hands, but I got my fingertips back behind my hips, lifting up through the spine as I press down through the backs of the legs, flexing the feet and turning those pinky toes kind of away from the center of my body. Stay right here, or if you'd like to fold forward a little bit or hinge forward at the waist but still keeping the spine long, so not curving the spine forward, but keeping it long and hinging at the waist. I'm going to inhale here and then exhale, hinge forward at the waist. Again, keeping my spine long, and I just do that by sort of trying to keep my chest open. I can't go that far, and that's okay. Getting some adductor stretching here. Maybe with every exhale, going even just a millimeter further toward the floor in front of you. Maybe not. Maybe just staying right where you are, whatever feels good. But still breathing, keeping the jaw relaxed. On your next inhale, slowly come back to center. Relax, bring the bottoms of the feet together, heels in toward the hips. Holding on to the feet wherever it's comfortable, ankles or feet. Lift up through the spine. And feel free to bounce the knees a little bit just to kind of bring some movement into the hips. And then either continue with that bouncing movement or start to actively reach the outer knees toward the floor. Lifting up through the spine, staying here, or like the last one we just did, I'm going to inhale here and then exhale, hinge forward at the waist. keeping the spine as long as I am able. Adjust hands anytime you need to, arms. Continuing to reach the outer knees, outer thighs toward the mat. Maybe with every exhale you go a little further, keeping the spine long. Then on your next inhale, we're going to inhale, sit back up. Okay, people, final relaxation. So get into any position if you have the time for as long as you would like to rest. If you'd like to lay out in corpse pose or even on your side, if you'd like to stay in a seated position. Any position that for you feels good for as many minutes as you're able to spend resting with eyes closed. Softened facial muscles, softened muscles all the way from head to toe. Just come into a position where you can relax and let go. A lot of times I like to help the rest of my body, just sometimes it just feels like the breath can let go by an exhale, but when I take a deep breath and let out a good old exhale, big sigh, I envision that communicating to the rest of my body to also let go. No longer needing to squeeze or flex any muscles, but just releasing any grip that you might still have. Relaxing the jaw, as always, broken record am I. And just come into that position. If you'd like to stay there, stay there. Thank you for joining me for my practice today or tonight, whenever it is for you, whatever time it is. I pray a blessing over your yoga practice, over your functional movement, over your daily movement. I pray that you will experience healing and peace and restoration over your minds, your hearts, and your bodies, and that you would have the courage and the joy and the peace to go out and spread the same. Thank you. Again, not edited, so wait for it. Okay, bye.